Hello, friends. This is Raj Kapoor going live in Life Defining Leadership. And we have just one more minute, so I'm going to wait for a minute before a few people join in. And then I'm going to start by talking regarding investing in yourself. Hope all of you are doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day out here near Washington, D.C., in Virginia, and I'm just glad that I'm here. So, we are at the top of the hour now. So, let's start. My name is Raj Kapoor. I'm the founder and CEO of Options Ahead. I'm an executive director with the John Maxwell team. I'm a life and wealth coach. When my brother Raveen, asked me to join here, it was just something which I wanted to be on. There's nowhere right now I would be more than I to be with this group. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There are people joining from all over the world. And I just want to thank Raveen. Thank Raveen for inviting me here. But I want to thank Raveen for creating this group, a group which is adding so much value specifically to all of you. Everyone in here is learning, going to learn, because this is the time when you can invest in yourself. It's my honor to be here. It's my pleasure to be here. And hopefully, I can add value to you from my experiences. At the end of this, I do have a couple of surprise gifts for you, which hopefully will help you grow and enhance. See, what we do is we invest in a lot of material things in our life. Nothing wrong with that. It's really good because that is why we earn the money. That is where the pleasures come from many times in life. But you know what? Investment in yourself is where you get the highest return, because that is something which doesn't go down. That is something which brings additional revenues, additional knowledge, additional add in for everyone. So, why not become the best version of yourself? Now, see, as human beings, we are not cabin dwellers born to be cramped and confined. See, human beings cannot live without a challenge. We cannot live without a meaning. There is more to life than everyday experience of our senses. Now, what is the meaning of all this in this pandemic, where we are confined, where we are inside, which is the best thing for us to do right now? But what this pandemic has brought forth is the issue that life is so fragile and it will end. We are seeing that every single day. But what are you going to do in this time frame that whenever your end comes, whenever it is, have you lived a life which is completely meaningful, where you are fully satisfied? You see, you cannot be pouring out of an empty cup. The only way to refill your cup is by investing in yourself. See, we are born to grow. Many times people grow old without having or learning much. And old age is something which comes without effort because it will come. But if you start investing in yourself and if you start adding value, you know what? That is where you will have a new meaning in your life. Now, many people are actually doing it. But today we are going to talk about specific things which you can do in these times. You know why? How long has it been that we have had so much time to ourselves? I know I haven't. It's been a long time since I've had so much time with myself. And what I'm trying to do with this time is make the best out of it. Yes, there are times where I do get frustrated. Yes, there are times when I do want to go out and feel that this abnormality will be ending. But you know what? Whenever it ends, because it will, this too shall pass, life will never be the same. There will be a new normal, and we will get used to it. So, in this time frame, what can you do to invest in yourself? Now, a couple of things that you need to think about is anticipate now in whatever industry you are, whether you have a business, whether you have a job. So, there will be two things going on. At the end of this pandemic, when things are over, when things start coming to normalcy, there will be people who have gone deep, depressed, down, who will be behind when this is all over. Now, do you want to be one of those? I am almost certain that you are plugged in here. There is no way. What you want to be ahead of the game. So if you do have a business, this is the time to think. This is the time to build that foundation. This is the time to build yourself. So at that time, you are ahead of others. So when time comes, when everything starts coming back, you are just ready for it. Your business is just ready for it. One of the big things that is happening is you are learning new things, learning new technologies. I'm here near Washington, D.C., speaking to you from all around the world, sitting in my home. If this is not amazing, what is amazing? And that too, live. I'm investing my time in learning how my business will be better once this is over. And I know for sure that technology for me is something which is going to enhance my business, which is going to enhance me. So, for yourself, if you're in a job, what else can you learn which can catapult you a little bit ahead of where you are right now? What are your deep down desires? Are you living your life on your own terms? Or are you living the life that someone else has designed for you? Many people are. Are you happy with it? Or have you made amends with your life? My friends, this is the time to do the deep thinking because you do have the time. Because of the lockdown, you can't go out. So if you cannot go out, then go deep inside. Go deep inside yourself. Think of the life that you would want to live from now on. And then we will go over a few things which you can definitely utilize to enhance your life. What to do? Because many people do not have that. Now, there is definitely a place for entertainment, a place where you do need to go and watch TV uh, and do other activities. But as I said, there's a time and place for it. The most important thing is to schedule your day. And now, how do you actually make an effort to make it possible? because everyone's desires are different, and it is the deep down desires that you have had. If you can go deep into it and see if they could be realized now, is it possible? My thing is, it is. Let me give you my story on how I actually started investing in myself. I've always been a student, always trying to learn something new. That always had been my passion. I worked as a chief financial officer in non-profit organizations for over 30 years. So that was one thing. But then I always had businesses on the side. Right now, I'm working full time in my business and working on creating online programs and courses. So my story began at this level in 2014. Before this, if you knew me, you wouldn't believe that I would be sitting in front of you and talking on the camera live. I was very comfortable sitting behind the desk as the chief financial officer, making decisions and letting rest of the people be in front, do whatever is needed, and running the organization financially, fiscally behind my desk. Whenever there were events or anything, yes, I was in front. I wasn't comfortable, but I would rather make it a point not to go there in front. So in 2014, I said I really love coaching. I love to speak because that is passion inside me. But why am I scared? Why can't I do it? What should I do? So at that time, what I realized was that I need to make myself accountable. That's what you need to do. Make yourself accountable. How did I do it? I actually created a website called Experiments with Success. And I said for the next one full year, I'm going to take 30 minutes at least every single day and invest in myself by either reading something, by watching a video, listening to an audio which will enhance me. Now, how did I make it accountable? I made it public. I went on the Facebook and wrote in the public that I'm going to do this to all my friends, which was going out of my comfort zone. That's exactly what we need to do. Get out of our comfort zone. Making it public was very scary. But what that did was that started moving me towards where I wanted to be. Every single day I read something. And if I came back from work really tired because it was a difficult job, I knew in my mind that there were people who were commenting on my posts, who were looking for what I'm doing. So, what I did was in Experiments with Success, I said that whatever I read, listen to, or watch on a video, if I find it really great, I'm going to blog it at the end of the year. I believe I did around 100 or so blogs. But that kept me accountable because every single day something happens. And you know how that helped me? That started changing my life because I read something new, learned something new, blogged it, and internalized it. Once that started happening, things by magic started to happen. The law of attraction works this way because until and unless you take an action, nothing will happen. I'm one of those people who is a planner. I used to plan a lot of things before, but the action never completely came through. This accountability made me come in front and do what was the most maybe uncomfortable thing at that time. After that, I joined the John Maxwell team. Got a call from there that they're looking for people who would they want to become coaches. In 2014, I assume there were very few people, couple of thousand or 3,000 people in the John Maxwell team. I joined it. Once I did that, I started to bring all the material, excuse me, back to my job. I started doing masterminds. I started speaking in public, slowly but surely. And then I started getting to be recognized by people. I became a speaker. I spoke in front of people, hundreds of people. I went to Virginia Head Start Association and did presentations there. Got coaching clients from there. And things started moving in a different direction. Now, when I look back at 2014 and it is 2020, my life has completely changed. Nobody believed that I would ever leave my job to go 100% and jump deep into my business. But I did. I jumped off the cliff. And as I'm going through, I'm growing my wings. Okay? So, this is really, really important for you to understand as to how to make yourself accountable. That means, you know why? The reason for this is very simple. What happens is we make goals at the beginning of the year. Most of us do. Once we start to make those goals, we have those lofty goals and everything, which many times are not correct. But again, we make them. And what happens is, soon enough, in the beginning of January, February, March, life hits in. Children, family, peers, parents, job, everything. And what happens is you're back on that normal routine. Because that is how your subconscious is programmed. Getting out of that comfort zone becomes difficult. And so when the year passes, next step, you're back, and the same goals go on the same agenda next year, and the next year, and the next year. You have to break out of that pattern. This is how important it is to make. So, let me ask you something which might joggle your mind. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. This all has passed and is history, hopefully. It's history. Where do you see yourself? Have you invested in yourself and made the changes you wanted? Or after 5 years, you're still at the same place, planning to do it one of these days. If you ever close your eyes and put yourself few years ahead, I'm telling you, your mind is going to joggle you. And at that time, you might start making changes. Write this down as to what would happen in 5 years. Then, if you really want to go further, go, and this is an exercise that I do in my program. I'm going to talk about this a little bit and give you something free also for that. It's called Guidance to Wealth, where I teach the values of wealth and money, but not the regular way where I just tell you what to do. It all starts with the mindset, how to change your mindset, how to work with your mindset. And once that happens, things start to change because you make deep level changes. And that's the only way to make a change in your life. Okay? What I do is I take people on a journey from their comfort zone. Now, what's a comfort zone? Comfort zone is where you are right now. You can call yourself as a comfort zone at that level. From there, you go to what you want. That is your dream zone. And once you go through that journey of your dream zone, then you make a timeline as to when you want to reach there. One important exercise that you can definitely do once we are done with this is think of yourself in your late 70s, 80s, where you have lived your life. And if you have not invested in yourself and grown and made your life what you want it to be, how are you feeling at that level? Are you satisfied? Or do you want to go with the music in you? Or you have made the changes and you are living the life of your dreams. If you start to think in these terms, your mind actually will give you the right answers. The important part here to invest in yourself is to ask the right questions. The problem happens is most of the people ask questions which are not empowering. So person asking a question, why am I not successful? Why am I not able to lose weight? Why am I not able to progress in life? Why? Instead of that, if you start asking empowering questions, how can I live a life which is meaningful? How can I live day to day where I can actually be my best self? Your mind will start giving you different answers. Because if you ask that why question in a negative terms, your mind would be like, because you are a fool. That's why you don't succeed. But if you say, how can I succeed? Then the mind will give you an answer. Why don't you talk to this person? Why don't you invest in yourself? Why don't you do? So thinking can change. So now coming from here, you would be asking, so how do I actually invest in myself? What are the ways to do it? Well, first thing I would say is make books your friend. Books can give you valuable lessons and insights. When reading a book, just do not read it, devour it. Now, there are two kinds of people who I meet all the time. One person would be who wants to read one book a week, and people have gotten into that habit and learned a lot from it. Second, people are there who read a little but want to get out of it. My question to you is that when you are reading, what is the purpose of reading it? Why are you reading it? What do you want to get out of it? Is it going to help you? Because not every book could be your friend. There are important books that could really help you, and there are other books which may not. So the bottom line on this is, what do you want to do with it? My aspect is, you might take one book and read it 20 times, like the book called Think and Grow Rich, which I read every single year. Why? Because every single year my level is changing. My level goes up. And I get more and more out of it because I'm looking at it from a very different angle. So that is one thing I do. But I do go, and if you see behind me, all the books I have, I get so much knowledge from this. Have I read all of them? No. But have I read the pertinent and most of them? Yes. Now, my question is, when I used to read before, what I used to do? I used to take the book and I used to read it, but I didn't mark anything on it because I didn't want to make it dirty. That was long time ago. Until I said, why am I doing this? This book is something I need to learn from. So, just to give you an example, let me just pull one of the books here. So, this is the book by John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I have read this book at least 10 times. Now, when I go through this book, if you see, I have it highlighted. I have my notes in it. I have earmarks everywhere. So, when I go through the book, I make all my notes in it. You know how important that is? Because once I go back, I do not have to go through the whole book again. I can just go through my notes and the whole gist of that comes back. So, first thing, make books your friend. It is a really important aspect. But what you learn from it, it is not just a tick mark on a to do list that I had to read this books and I did it. That's not the criteria. The criteria is what action items can you take from that book. Understand? Until you take action and act on things, things will not change. Just getting it mentally is not enough. Acting on things, and you can do act on things in a small way. See, what happens is once you start acting on things, your life starts changing a little. And if you make it a habit, then what happens is, see, when you start investing in yourself, Jim Rohn, who I consider as the father of all this motivational things said very clearly. You cannot change your destiny overnight, but by learning, you can definitely change your destination. You can start moving towards that, and your destiny will change because you have started acting on it. So, small things is what you need. Simple thing. You want to read a book, just go 30 minutes a day, read 10, 15 pages. By the end of the month, your book might be over and you have learned from it. So, that is how I would suggest invest in yourself. Second thing, many people are not nowadays want to read. So, invest in online courses that can enhance you. Being here on this call right now shows me that you have the interest where you want to grow, where you want to make better of yourself. It is just unbelievable that so many people just do not do that. And you know what? You're not like that. You don't want to be like that. So don't get in that trap. Invest in online courses. There are so many of them out there. Now, important aspect here. Very important. There are so many things coming up on Facebook and internet which seem like those golden glitters, those nuggets, where you really hear that, oh man, this is low. Let me put and invest money in it to get this course. Does it work? Do you go through it? I know I'm guilty of that. I bought so many courses which I didn't go through it until I fully realized, come on, man, this is not how it needs to be. You need to invest in the courses which you can finish, which you can actually learn from. There's a lot of hogwash out there. So be careful with this. But then there are a lot of solid, really great courses out there. So invest in few and then follow that. If you don't like reading, well, you have audiobooks, a wonderful source. Now, when I used to go to my work, one thing I made sure that my car does not run without fuel in it, and I do not sit in my car without my iPhone, which has a plethora of material in it, which I can listen to every single day. Because this driving time can now become my learning time. When you're exercising, put on a headphone, start listening. It is really important. It's really important. Okay? Now, learn a new skill. My new skill is what? My new skill is going on Facebook Live. That is something which was bothering me for quite some time because I have been working with videos, creating my course and everything. So I got good at it because it's practice. So I took some new software called Ecamm Live, which is a Mac software, and I'm learning that because that can enhance your experience on online. So I want to make it the best that I can give everyone. So I'm learning something new every day. I have a whole list where I say what I need to learn. But be careful here too. Do not do more than 6 things at a time. Invest time in what is the best you can do. For example, the 80-20 rule, I'm definitely sure you must have heard of it, the Pareto's principle. What Pareto's principle tells you very clearly is that 20% of activities can yield you 80% of the results. So, what are those 20% of the activities that you need to do that are going to get you 80% of the results? If you even slice it more, let's say you don't do that, you do just 10%, your life might change by 40%. Isn't that amazing? So, what are those pertinent things that you can do to make a difference in your life? Because what happens is we delve and put a lot of time into everything. We cannot be experts and masters at everything. Last time I was hearing Nasheen, who did a wonderful job, and she did say that work on your strengths, not your weaknesses. That's what John Maxwell taught us. So powerful, because then you can become an expert, and then you find other people who can help you in those things. One other thing that you can do is start building confidence in yourself. Do you love to speak? Do you want to be a speaker? Well, this is the time now where online you can practice it. How did I do it? I know I was really bad at it because I never did it and I was scared. I started to build a script and I learned it with Brendan Burchard. I took a seminar, so I want to thank him for that. It was really good. And created a script which was like a 3 minute script. Then you curtail it down to 1 minute and then to 30 seconds. But the most important thing was every single day, go back, take your phone, take whatever camera you have, and start recording yourself. How did I do it? I took a topic and without scripting, I started speaking on that topic. There's much not information we all have. We have gone through so many experiences in life, and many times, we believe that why would people want to listen to me? What would my story? People do want to listen to you because we have gone through our experiences. People learn from that. It reduces the curve. You want to do what exactly you want to do, who you want to listen to, important things. Build confidence in yourself. What do you do? Start being every day. So will start improving. And that's if you want to be a speaker, whatever you want to start with any fear. Get rid of the fear. If you have fear, be there. Feel the fear. Wait anyway. Your fear is pain. I gone through it. And interest yourself. If you can join groups, that in the field of your interest. Okay? Spend little every together if it is helping you with your goals and aspirations. You might be able to find really people there who might add their own groups and learn from that. Now, obviously, you can have a tendency where you can be going on a tangent and you go to YouTube, start looking at everything. There's a time for it. There's a time for it. But believe me, that is not vesting and investing in yourself. That comes in rest and recreation part. Let's say you want to now invest in your own body. See, that's important because you want to have a sharp mind and you have to have a body which will go with you. So start investing in the right nutrients. Start fueling your body, eating right, exercising whenever you can, and doing it. I have started doing yoga every single every single day. I'm seeing that people are getting broken. Let me put my speaker a little bit closer. Is the sound better now? I hope so. Let me know in the chat if I'm getting broken. Uh, but right now it shows that my internet connection is good. So hopefully I'm reaching you. So what I was talking about is taking care of your health, which is the most important thing that you can do. Okay. Now, thank you. The sound is good. Um, Many of the people I was talking to or who I'm coaching, they said they wanted to write because that is in them. So many people want to write. Have you ever tried it? Have you written anything? And the answer comes in is no. So now, if you just start writing 3 pages a day, just 3 pages a day, not more, in 100 days, you will have a 300-page book. If you can do that, just write 1 page a day. In 365 days, you have a 365-page book. You want to paint, you want to sing, you want to invest time in that. You never know at what juncture, at what stage in life things may change. So, what is your deepest desire? Look into that. Look into that, start working on that, and invest in yourself. Invest in a coach. You know, the best coaches all have coaches to keep them on track. You know why? Because the most difficult thing is actually to manage yourself. So keep yourself on track. Invest in yourself emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Now, let's talk about how to become productive and how to design your day so that you can really invest in yourself. What I have done for myself, because it becomes really difficult in these times when you're home to actually organize yourself properly. And when you organize yourself properly and keep on doing, that's when you can really make a change. So, what I do and what the studies have found is that if you do intervals, 50 minutes or 90 minutes, and by intervals I mean is you need to block the time on your calendar. You need to block it on your calendar. So you block the time that you are going to work on that one topic only, whatever it is. But block that time. At that time, you need to turn off your phone, you need to turn off the pings on your email, and you need to turn off your Facebook, and you work on that one thing only. I'm telling you, your productivity will increase like crazy because once you're focused on one thing, then your mind is fully geared towards it. And that focus, because they say what you focus on expands. Now, what happens for most people is that while they're working on the one thing, they do have their phone on, a call can come in, they need to take the call, or they have to take a look at the Facebook because you might have made a post and you want to see how many likes you got. And every time that dings, oh man, another like. Well, we are geared towards that, and I would seriously say, be careful of those things because that is not the gratification that you need to take a look. So whatever you desire most, I set generally between 2 to 3 90-minute intervals during the day. Now, in between that, what I did miss at one time was that I just kept on working like crazy. And that will burn you out because after a few days, you'll be like, what is this? I can't take it. So, you need to put in time for rest and recreation, time with your family, time to maybe watch a good movie, time to actually do something which will take you mentally off this completely. That means that you are not focusing on this because once you come back to this, things are going to be very different and your mind will work fast. Mind will work with the best that is in there. I've been using something new now, which is called Brain FM, and that has that music in there that boosts you. If you want, you can try it. They give you few days for free, and it definitely has helped me. But again, it's up to you, because music does give you that energy many times that you need. So these are the things that I would say try to use that and try to organize your day either a day ahead or that morning. So what I do is, and I'll just share with you, this is my diary. Every day I write in it a few things. what I am grateful for. So that puts me on the right track every single morning, because once you do, and it doesn't have to be big thing that you need to be grateful for, small things. I'm grateful for Raveen right now for asking me to be here with you, and giving my life experiences with you, maybe which will hopefully help you. And so these are the things that I am grateful for. Then I do an affirmation in this, which is whatever affirmation for the day I want, I create it, I make it. Then I write down the five major things that I need to accomplish that day, put my schedule in and some tasks, and then at the end of the day, I have my today's wins and how I'm going to improve. That keeps me occupied with my focus. But it does have those rest and recreation things in there. So that becomes really important. Now, for you, what I would suggest is Raveen has a wonderful coaching program. He and his team can provide so much value to you. Reach out to him. Reach out to him. Find out what he's actually providing. Learn from him. He's one of the best, and I'm grateful to him. No question. So I hope I have given you few things in here which hopefully will help you, because this pandemic has brought us all together in a very different way. So why not make the best out of this time instead of cribbing, watching the news all the time, getting depressed? Don't do that. There is so much good out there. See, nature is growth. Everything is growing. And what we need to do, we need to grow. So, what I was telling you, that are my two things that I want to give you. Uh, as I said, I'm running a program called Guidance to Wealth, which is all about different aspects of wealth, from generating wealth, saving wealth, growing your wealth, protecting your wealth, instilling your wealth habits. And then we do a disc profile as to how your personality type goes with the wealth and money. So I have created a ebook, which are five epiphanies that are going to transform your relationship with wealth and money. And once we are done, I'm going to put a link there where you can get that free ebook, and hopefully that'll help you. Second thing in my program I also do is that I do a free visualization. I have a lot of MP3s which guide people when they listen to them every day on different aspects. So I'm going to also give you one of those for free. Hopefully these things have helped you, and I'm hope that this has added value to you. Uh, Thank you so much, and hope you make the best of it. Live your life like you have never lived before. Make it a masterpiece. Thank you, and take care. Bye now.